And I see him leaving and what happened with Hunter Biden today as kind of what that party was and what it's become. The guy shows up, says, I'm ready to testify. They're all screaming that he needs to testify, and then they say, come back later. Come on, O'Reilly.
Come on, you're not reporting this accurately.
Oh, you mean the way you like it?
So he shows up. No, I'm telling you the truth. He shows up in a stunt.
Okay.
In a stunt. This was a stunt.
Okay.
Okay.
The whole thing's a stunt.
Just so the news, Cuomo, just take a breath and give me 30 seconds.
You can interrupt me.
Right?
I can't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Correct. And the reason is I'm smarter than you are.
Okay.
That's the reason.
All right. I'll stipulate to the fact that you're the smartest guy on the show.
The House committee, run by Cuomo, wants Hunter Biden to do a private deposition. This is not unusual. This is the way it comes down. You're an attorney. Hunter Biden does not want to do that. He wants to testify in public because he knows that it's 5-minute interims. Republican 5, Democrat 5, and that you're not going to be able to get the follow-up questions you would in a deposition. That's the baseline. So he shows up today with his lawyer and his money man, the Hollywood guy who pays all his bills. He's there. And they stay for 20 minutes, get all the media attention, and then they bolt, and the lawyer goes, what are the Republicans afraid of? Okay.
Boy.
It's a stunt.
But
you know who it embarrasses the most?
Who does it embarrass the most? Let me guess. The president.
Yes. If Teddy Roosevelt's sons had done what Hunter Biden did today, Teddy would have thrown them in Oyster Bay. This is embarrassing for the president to have his son defy a congressional subpoena, whether you like the subpoena or not.
You don't think the president was aware of what his son was doing today? You think that he was surprised?
Listen.
Here it comes.
The president doesn't even know his defense secretary is having an operation for 30 days.
Look, the idea that people didn't know about the defense secretary having an operation, that everybody was in the dark, is demonstrably false. But I take your point on this.
Well,
but my point is the reciprocal point.
Biden is saying he... Wait, Cuomo,
you talk the whole time, Bill. Go ahead, I'm here.
No, people want to hear what I have to say. Dusty, shut his mic. Biden himself says, I didn't know about my defense secretary being in ICU until January 4th. Biden says that. That's a month. How disrespectful. So what a real president would do would be put the defense secretary on medical leave. Because we do feel sorry for him. He has prostate cancer. Everybody should feel sorry for him. But the stunt that he pulled, see, we're like stunt tonight. Hunter Biden's got a stunt, and this guy has a stunt, the defense secretary. Why? Why wouldn't you tell everybody, look, I've got a serious situation. I got to go in there. Why hide it? Now, Biden should suspend him, but he won't. Because nobody knows what Joe is cognizant of absorbing. Nobody knows that. That's how bad this is.
I don't believe it's a compos mentis issue. I think that they obviously messaged this the wrong way so that people like you can beat them over the head with it. But I think Austin's guys were aware of what was happening. There was never any break in the chain of command about what needed to be done. And that's why I'm not covering it, because I think it's a non-controversy, not a controversy. And I disagree with you about Hunter Biden's posture, because let me tell you, those closed session meetings are dynamite. All they do is leak stuff out that they want, and they take advantage of the process. Transparency is key right now. Everybody should be testifying in open, because nobody has any trust of what the process is, so let us see it.
You are correct. It would be leaked out almost immediately. That is accurate.
But selectively and twisted, like we saw with Fauci.
Correct. Like we saw with the January 6th committee. Okay? It happens on both sides.
I didn't say it didn't.
Then he gets to publicly testify based upon what he said under oath. So for you to stick up for this stunt, your father, if you did that to Mario Cuomo, if you did that to Mario, he would have thrown you in Sheep's Head Bay.
Bill.
Your father would have dragged you down and thrown you into that bay if you ever pulled a stunt like that when he was governor.
Bill, here's what I'm saying. I'm not backing up the stunt. I'm saying the stunt revealed the larger stunt, which was the hearing. For you to just elide over the reference to Cuomo as if he is a fair broker in this situation. The guy has come up with nothing but poppycock consistently about this because it's all about playing to advantage. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.